A pandemic of violence floods the streets of major cities as cases of the media-dubbed murder virus, MV20, soar, causing those infected to go on killing sprees. Caught in the middle, police detective Angela Miller finds her only trustworthy ally in the self-proclaimed psychic PI, Gerald Henry. As the two try to navigate the violence, they are drawn into New Age guru Abramelin Harvest's plot to heal the planet. Harvest's missive:
the world is sick, and humanity is the infection.
The cure: murder. From the twisted mind of Shawn C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires and Shadow Play in Book 1, Kim and Jesse, comes his most vicious novel yet, Murder Virus. Available where books are sold.
So, hello, welcome to Drinking with Comics, new comic book roundup for, this is for yesterday's new comic book day, so 4/7, even though it's 4/8. What's up, Mike?
What's shaking?
So that's Mike Wellman, aka Mike Wallman, and yes, I'll never let that joke die. It's like 5 years old now. And I'm Shawn Charles Baker, and we're here to drink and talk about this week's new comics.
Yeah.
So
No, that not Darth Vader, it's Shawn Charles Baker.
well, people have made that mistake before, so I understand. That's fine.
It's okay. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking the good old standby Sierra Nevada in a can. Yeah. You know
I'm
what's
still
funny?
drinking that dog wine.
I hope not the same bottle.
Of course not.
It's like,
Do you know how many dogs are in shelters?
Good man.
I've got a lot of drinking to do. But no, I'm having that right now. And I read a bunch of comics today
What'd you read?
preparation for tonight's show. And I
Okay.
actually do. You'd asked me about the Predator thing. I have the answer for that.
So wait, let's start with that because I feel like this was big news this week. And Marvel just launched Alien, and now they were supposed to launch Predator this week,
Mm-hmm.
and it got pushed back to what, November?
So, yes, Alien did very well and above their expectations.
Okay.
I think they sold like 300,000 copies or something like that. And so after Alien did so well, and then I don't know if you know or not, but Marvel's got a new distribution deal with Penguin Random House.
So does that mean they are also, like DC, leaving Diamond?
Yes. But
Whoa.
you can still order Marvel books through Diamond. But you just won't get as good of a discount.
What's the benefit for them through, like, did they just negotiate a better deal with Penguin? I mean, that's such a weird...
better terms,
So,
more distribution.
How...
Penguin Random House is at, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, everywhere. And so basically Alien did so well, and they had the Predator was the next big sort of tempo they had on their agenda. And they're like, okay, let's push this back until we get the new distribution deal. So it'll be more money.
Does this affect comic shops like you in any way? Is this like an opening shot against your kind of store?
I don't think so. I mean,
okay.
Honestly, like, if you look at the history of Alien and Predator comics, they were pretty insignificant the last 20 years to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marvel.
I mean, the people that read them wouldn't agree, but I mean, in the larger.
If you look at my numbers, how many I'm ordering, like 5, 10 copies or whatever, and I did, I went pretty big on Alien. I'm mostly sold out, if not sold out entirely. So I mean, people are excited. It's the Marvel Disney, brand. Bringing the A game.
It's got a bigger push,
big franchise, right? When the last 20 years at Dark Horse, it's like, okay, like who needs work this week, to do an Alien comic or a Predator comic. So the franchises, as far as comics are concerned, were pretty dried up, just like Star Wars was really towards the end of Dark Horse. and I mean, for me, it doesn't matter to me if Predator comes out in July or if it comes out in November. Like, whatever. I'm gonna
Right.
order the same amount. Like, whatever serves Marvel the best. Okay, it to me, it's like a non-controversial thing. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we'll enjoy Alien, and I'm sure there's gonna be an eventual like Alien versus Predator thing that's hopefully better than any of the Alien versus Predator movies, right? So,
That wouldn't really be hard to do. I mean,
shouldn't
really,
be
it
hard
wouldn't.
to do.
No,
Shouldn't
it
be
would
hard,
not be
Marvel.
hard to do. I have
But yeah,
complete faith.
so it's really a business decision. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that explains that. I just caught glimpses of it online, and I was curious. And so why don't
Yeah.
you go ahead, give your address, because there may be people looking for Alien #1, and they can come down to your store and pick it up. You have a lovely store.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm at 400 East 3rd Street, down here in beautiful Long Beach, California, next to Hops and Vines, which makes it convenient when you have a show called Drinking with Comics.
Yeah.
We're on the corner of 3rd and Elm, one block south, east, west of Fingerprints Music. So we have a lot of great neighbors, and
It's a good area down there.
it's a great area, dude. I love it. It's it's home, really. So yeah, this is where we are. It's been a good week. It's been cool. Like a lot of cool.
Talk comics. What have you read? do you
Okay,
wanna
let
talk
me kick it off with something positive. Batman: The Second Son.
Okay, so explain, what is this? I don't know anything
So
about
this
this at all.
is it's kind of a spinoff from the Future State stuff they did early in the year, and
Which
it's
I have no grasp of what exactly that means. It's a new continuity they're starting again, correct?
right. Well, it was like a 2-month experiment, but some of the stuff they threw a bunch of stuff at the wall, and some of it stuck, and this was one of the ones that stuck. And it's Tim Fox, who oddly enough, one of my best friends in high school was named Tim Fox.
Is that
And he's
Lucius
changed his
Fox's
name, but-
son?
Huh?
Is that Lucius Fox's son?
His second son, yes.
Oh, there. So
Yeah, he's got 2 sons.
is
And
this
then
like
Grifter's
a
in here if you like Grifter.
is this like an alternate timeline Batman, or is this the same timeline, or how does this work
I
exactly?
think it's the same timeline. It's not really clear.
Okay.
Basically, so at the end of Death Metal, if you read that, I just read number 7 today. Came
Okay.
out like almost a year ago. There's a multiverse.
Okay.
as there always has been.
Yeah, they're always
So this is part of the multiverse. So it might not be the exact dimension that Rebirth's Batman is in, Bruce Wayne, but it's valid. It's got validity. It's a good story. It's written by John Ridley,
Okay.
Oscar award-winning writer director John Ridley,
Okay.
and it's Black Batman, and it's cool. It's I'm curious to see where it goes. I don't know if it's a limited series or if it's an ongoing, but I enjoyed the first issue, and
Okay.
it's a little extra length. It's like 30 pages, so there's a little more to chew on than normal, and you get to meet him, his family. Kind of he has different abilities than Bruce Wayne's Batman does. So yeah.
So is this DC basically doing kind of what Marvel did like 2 decades ago with Miles Morales, or is this something different?
I would say it's different.
Okay.
The Miles Morales thing that happened, like Ultimate Spider-Man was Brian Michael Bendis doing Peter Parker
Yeah.
for a new generation of readers, and he died in issue, I think, 133. And when you die in the Ultimate universe, it's not
You're
like when
dead.
you die in the Marvel universe. You're
Yeah,
dead.
you're dead.
You're done. Dunzo. And then Miles Morales stepped up and took the mantle and became this phenomenon, and like actually not immediately, like it was a thing, but then it grew and grew and grew, and he's got his own rightly earned fan base. Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Now that
He's
Bendis
great.
is long gone from writing it, so this is, I mean, I don't know if they're experimenting or what, but a lot of cool cats checked checked this out, picked it up. I read it's well done, so I recommend it. Yeah, it. I wouldn't say it's a Miles Morales thing because it's not like
Okay.
he's not like a kid. He's a grown ass man, who's now Batman in the future. Commissioner Gordon's gone. It's different sort of parameters of what surrounds him in Gotham City. So
Okay.
yeah.
So the future state, it's like it's in the future of the current, what's the current DC
So
universe?
Future
Is that
State also sprung out of Death Metal #7, and they just kind of sprung into the distant but not so far away
okay?
future.
Okay.
And so you had a new Wonder Woman, Yara was her name. You had a new Batman, as in Tim Fox, a new Superman, which would be Superman's son, and it was like a 2-month event. And usually, like, they did this about 5 years ago with Convergence, and I thought it was horrible. But this was actually really good for the most. I
Okay.
didn't read the entire thing, but what I read was good.
I feel like I've read a few of the DC things recently, and I feel like their strength, watching the shelf and the sprawl of titles on the shelf with death metal, black metal, hair metal, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this has always been their strength, is to do these these different continuities. They used to call them Elseworlds, right? And that's where you got some of your
Right.
classic Gotham by Gaslight, and that's the only one that comes to mind. But I feel like, what was the Millar Superman in Russia, Red Sun or whatever?
Oh, Red Sun, yeah.
So, I feel like that's really their strength. And if they're playing to that, I think that's very smart. And I mean, you have me curious. Batman is a character I love, but he's one I really hedge my bets on what I read. That I had you pull me Urban Legends #1 last month.
Which one?
Okay, Urban Legends #1. You pulled that for me last month, and I read it.
Yeah,
and it was okay. Why is Grifter in all the Batman books now? Is there? I just curious.
probably because of Jim Lee. I don't know. I mean, Jim Lee's the boss, so Jim Lee created Grifter. I mean, he has a place in this book. Like,
yeah, well, he also had his own story in the Urban Legends, which was a longer issue,
Yeah.
almost like prestige format. It was Batman and Poison Ivy and Harley and Grifter, and I forget who else, but I'm like, oh, so is he considered Bat Family? I didn't realize that.
He is. They're kind of, like when you go to Cold Stone Creamery and you order an ice cream cone, and you're like, oh, I want some Reese's Pieces in it, and they work it in.
Yeah, okay.
That's Grifter.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So and then the regular Batman comic came out this week too. This is it's a good. I've been collecting this since issue 1. I keep trying, like Brokeback Mountain. I keep trying to quit reading Batman, but they keep getting good writers and good artists, so I keep.
So who's writing
around.
it now?
It's James Tynion the fourth, and the artist in this issue is his last name. Oh, Jorge Jimenez.
Okay.
And they keep introducing characters, and that's kind of been the formula for the book lately. It's like, okay, Punchline. Now it's Molly. Now it's help me out.
Is that
that dude that has the baseball bat?
Oh,
there's like a lot of
Clown Hunter.
Clown Hunter, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of first appearances, and they keep in it. I don't know if you watched Mandalorian season 2. Did you watch that?
Oh yeah.
So how every episode was almost like a backdoor pilot to a new series, with Boba Fett and what Katie Sackhoff's character and all the it was like any one of those could have sprung off into a new show.
Right.
That's kind of what Batman's been
feeling
lately. Yeah.
Okay, I want to take this chance to segue into one of the books that I read that you pulled for me the other day.
Let's hear it.
So I don't know. I've been feeling Spider-Man, and traditionally I do this every once in a while. I get the Spider, and this is since the 80s. I'll buy it for a while, and then I just jump off or whatever. But I don't know. I saw Tombstone on the cover of the new comic and saw something in like the the write up on this new issue, Amazing Spider-Man 63, like Robbie Robertson and Tombstone, a feud that's been brewing since the 80s or whatever. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I had you pull it for me. And yeah, and so he's got the new costume, which I think started in 62, and I didn't know what this was. So if nobody knows, J. Jonah Jameson and somebody else, a character I'm not familiar with, a woman, split from the Bugle, left Robbie Robertson at the Bugle, and started some kind of, it's called like Threats and Menaces or something. It's some kind of online thing, and they basically paid Peter Parker to wear this suit that basically videotapes and streams everything he's doing all the time. So now he's like a
Oh,
YouTube
okay.
celebrity, he's an Instagram celebrity. He catches crooks and then has to pose for selfies. And okay, it's okay. Um, I liked the issue to a degree. Like I like some of the stuff they're setting up, like with Kingpin and who's mayor. I didn't realize that, and like Tombstone and Robertson, and Tombstone's daughter's a supervillain, and Robbie's son is not. He's like an activist, and they're dating. So there's this weird, Romeo and Juliet thing. But the thing is, you can really tell by the way it's written, not plotted, but the way it's written and the way it's drawn, that it is a book they're pushing for 15-year-old kids, which is totally fine. However,
Right.
I just find myself wondering, and you'll know this, is there a Spider-Man title? I love Miles and Peter, so either way, that would be, the way comics work now, like you have your ongoing X-Men titles, and then they'll give like fans of Chris Claremont's have,
Yeah.
Exiles or whatever, or
So you're
that's
looking
what
for a middle-aged Spider-Man book.
I'm looking for one where it's like I'm not going to feel that it's not. I mean, I really feel like it's not for me, especially with the art. I don't really dig the art. It's good art, but it's just it's
Yeah.
almost cartoonish.
There was a mini series that just wrapped up that J.J. Abrams wrote and his son.
It starts great and ends terrible, right?
A lot of lens flares when you read it. No, it was pretty popular. I'm really not that in tune with the Spider-Man universe right now.
I have a feeling I'm up Schitt's Creek.
Spider-Man
Okay.
Noir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
But
feeling
that's
I'm up
like a
Schitt's Creek.
variation Spider-Man too. It's not Peter Parker.
That's fine. It's Nick Cage, right?
Nick. Oh well, in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have a feeling I'm up Schitt's Creek. I mean, there was a point both of us called this after Secret Wars where I remember saying on this show, I feel like Marvel has said to us old continuity guys, hey, you can go now. It's cool. We talked about when this show started how comics grew up with us and had aged with us. And I feel like at some point that wave crested, broke, rolled back, and now it pushes for younger readers, and that's totally fine. So that's cool.
It's not really though. I mean, they know the younger readers, like the
Spider-Man
push is for
definitely
IP. I think, so they can turn this into a skin on a future Marvel Fortnite, whatever.
I don't know what that sentence means, but yes, I'm sure you're correct.
Skin, so you can like on these video game platforms, you have characters.
Oh yeah, you can wear. Yeah.
You can wear different outfits and shit. But yeah, it's cool. One Marvel book that I love, and I think you would love too, if you haven't been reading, is Immortal Hulk.
So you had me read the first two trades back when we were doing the show at a different location,
right?
And I read them and I liked them. I didn't love them. It feels kind of like, what it feels like to me? Remember when Bruce Jones wrote The Return of the Monster?
Right. I love that too. Yeah.
I loved everything about that except the final issue ruined the entire run for me. I thought it was absolutely like, I don't know. It really did. I loved most of that run. And then it just collapsed.
That was a good run. That was kind of influenced, I think, by X-Files at the time.
It was definitely. And
yeah,
a lot like that J.J. Abrams joke I just made. It was good really until the last issue. And the whole time I remember, this is like right when I moved to LA. So I was telling my friend Mike at the comic shop, in Chicago, I was like, I really hope it's the leader behind it. And he's like, dude, trust me, that would suck. And it ended up, spoilers, being the leader, and it sucked. So Mike Schinnebarger, you were correct. But this Immortal Hulk feels a little bit like that. I dug the body horror. There's the first two trades. There's a definite body horror element.
Mhm.
There's that scene where you see who's the villain? Is it it wasn't Abomination? I forget who it was, but like their body just like comes apart, and it was a total nod to John Carpenter's The Thing. There's like no fucking doubt about it, the way that they drew
Yeah.
it. And they keep
Well, it
talking about the
reminds me a
green
bit of
door.
Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run,
Okay.
where each issue is an experience, and
It seemed like it was like setting up something to do with hell, because they kept talking about who's behind the green door that he was seeing in his mind, and it just
Yeah.
seemed really like a darker take, but I don't know, I was suspicious of it. I never went further with it.
it's still going. I hear it's maybe ending at issue 50. I don't know,
Okay.
but you know, like any good series, like you want it to end while it's still
Yeah.
good. You know, like you don't want it
Definitely.
to go like, all right, you know, like Friends. Remember Friends season 1 and 2 were so good.
Never seen it.
I'm just kidding. Friends sucked from the start.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But speaking of Swamp Thing, you read number 1. I haven't read number 2 yet, but what can you tell us about number 1?
So you did pull me number 2, right?
I did. It's
Okay.
It's
All
in
right,
your
that's
little
cool.
special spot at my house.
Okay, that sounds creepy, but that's cool.
Sounds gay, doesn't it?
Hey, that's fine.
That's okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time never mind. So I really liked the first issue a lot.
Yeah.
So much that I went back and bought the future. I think it was a Future State, a 2-part thing that led into
The
it.
1 and 2.
And I read half of the first one and was like, okay, I don't know. I same writer.
Same writer though.
But it felt so editorial. It felt pushed by editorial. Like I don't know. I just didn't dig it. I was
It's
gonna go
because he
back.
bought it from a communist comic shop.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I did have to. I had to.
The ones
I
we
had
have here are really good.
I had to kiss a picture of Putin before I gave him my money. So maybe I didn't even think of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it. It has a total horror element. They're setting up what I believe is going to be like, how the Swamp Thing is this like, vegetation elemental. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they're setting up like a desert elemental that is older and is going to now train the new Swamp Thing guy. It's not Alec Holland anymore. I forget the character's name. The weird thing is the character I thought I had read previously was somebody from India. So I was like, oh, they're moving the book and that should be super cool, right? But then the whole thing takes place like in the States. So I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming. But either way, it's going to be 10 issues. I'll read it. I liked what I read. So
Yeah, you already got number 1. You got number 2 in your
in my
special
special
place at my house.
Oh man.
King in Black. You read this?
No, I don't know any. I mean, I know the basic premise, but I
Yeah, I read number 5 today. I'm a huge fan of Donny Cates. I loved his Silver Surfer Black. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got it.
I like this Cosmic Ghost
Kip
Rider.
bought the Kip. Hold up. Let me turn the camera to Kip. Where's Kip? There he is.
Oh yeah. What's up, Kip?
He
Oh,
got
nice.
the premium cover.
Nice.
I love this stuff, man.
Yeah. So Kip got the premium cover.
I just love it.
I read it. I think I should have read issue 1 through 4 because I just read the finale. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So it's a big fight. If you like big fights,
4 is good too.
yeah, I need to read 4.
And 4 is just bringing in to the fight.
Okay. Yeah. So Donny Cates has been writing some really amazing, phenomenal stuff for Marvel. Thor, we talked about.
Yeah.
Silver Surfer Black, which was my favorite miniseries last year.
He's been writing Venom for a couple years now, right? Like
I was getting to that. So he wrote the final issue of Venom came out the same week that the final issue of King in Black.
Let me ask you this: is this the final issue of Venom, or is this his final issue?
His final issue.
So there will be a 35.
So this is issue 34. But I think the next issue is like they're gonna go back to legacy numbering, like issue 200.
I
With the
hate
new
the way they
theme.
bounce. I can't stand the way they bounce between the legacy and the new. They need
It's
to pick
all
one.
marketing, dude.
I know. It just it annoys me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with him about that.
Yeah, and Kip agrees
Yeah,
with you.
it's like fucking pick one. I mean, on 34, is there a little 200 and whatever? You know, so I mean,
At the end of 34,
you've been reading
you
Venom
get
number
this,
200.
and it says next
Okay.
issue Venom 200.
So, you know, when I read the first trade of his stuff, and I was a little surprised. Like, I love Rick Remender's run on Venom. I love it.
Oh yeah,
And
with Flash
love it.
Thompson.
And so I loved Flash Thompson as Venom because he had this like kind of weird addictive relationship with the symbiote because he was crippled otherwise, right? So
Right.
I really liked that. So when I saw that they brought Eddie Brock back, the original Venom, and it was obviously coincided with the movie, right? The release of the movie with Tom Hardy.
Probably, yeah. I'm guessing, yeah.
But I'm curious if maybe it'll go back to Flash. I read something that led me to believe that maybe he would be, what they'll probably do is give him a different symbiote. So, you know, Sparkle.
Well, what I will say, without spoiling things, is if you're a Flash Thompson Venom fan, I would pick up King in Black number 5 and Venom
1 through
34.
4, probably 1 through 4 as well.
I mean, if you can, I got number 2.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
I'll read it in trade. I don't know. I'll wait
Or
for
you can
trade.
do that, yeah. So, you have a book you want to talk about?
Yeah, man. So the Silver Coin, Chip Zdarsky, Michael Walsh. This is going to be, I don't know how many issues it's going to run, but it's an anthology. So the next issue is going to be different creators. It's Kelly Thompson and Michael Walsh, which the next one is a slasher, and Girls of Summer, 1993. Mean girls bully a misfit teen at an idyllic summer camp. When the teen reclaims her power after an encounter with the silver coin, what follows is the stuff of horror movie legend. So looking forward to this. Dude, this book, did you read this?
I did.
Did you like it? This has Mike Wellman, written all over it, in my opinion. I loved it.
Why would you say it has Mike Wellman written all over it?
Because it's 1978 and it's a fucking rock band.
Right.
Done. I mean, am I wrong?
Okay. I would say you're 78% correct.
Okay. I'm not saying you're stuck in the 70s. I'm just saying that's, you know,
I am stuck in the 70s. Well,
part of your wheelhouse, part of mine as well.
I'm actually stuck in the middle with you, but which is also from the 70s.
Yeah, it is. Don't cut my hair off.
It was good. It was good.
I really liked it, man.
I felt it was a bit predictable.
Yeah, well.
All right, buddy. I'll see you, Chip. Thanks, dude.
Again, thank you for everything you're talking about.
Oh, you have a new fan, Shawn.
Right on. Tell him I said thank you.
Yeah, Chip's awesome. He's one of the family down here.
He has a new fan as well.
All right, be good, man. Be safe. So yeah, I read it. It was good. It was a little, Twilight Zone-y, but
yeah.
When you have your Twilight Zones, I think there's 2 necessary elements for a successful Twilight Zone story, and one is a moral.
Mm-hmm.
Like Time Enough at Last. The guy who likes to read.
Yeah.
So much.
Asses.
And one is a twist that maybe you didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the twist coming I was like, all right, this isn't going to end well. And then I didn't really feel like there was any message really to it.
Here's the thing. I think you're looking too far into it, but I mean, to each their own, but I feel like there's a certain wheelhouse in horror that is simply comfort food. And this was 100% comfort food. I enjoyed it. It was totally predictable. We knew right away, right? We knew. So basically, you got a band in the 70s. They're a great band that played this place, but disco is pushing them out. The lead guy is like, fuck disco, blah, blah, blah. He finds this coin that has some kind of weird magic power, right? It makes him shred.
Right.
Everybody loves their band. Of course, what's going to happen? It was his mother's coin, right? Well, yeah, so that feeds into because the coin is going to be the through line for the entire series, apparently. So that feeds into that. But
Yeah.
this overall story, it's the basic rise and fall. It's hubris comes before a fall, right? He gets too big for his britches. He tells his band to fuck off. He ends up joining the disco band, and then everybody in the I guess I just totally spoiled the comic, but here's the thing: it doesn't matter because
no, it's okay.
You read up to page 5, you know what's going to happen. It's comfort food. I enjoyed it like the finest meatloaf and mashed potatoes that you can buy at Black Bear Diner. I don't know.
Well, you might have added a new layer to it because I didn't even think about it like that because he had that coin that was having him write these good songs, but then he sold out. Which I hadn't really.
He went disco, which was his enemy, right? He actually left his rock band behind, his mates.
Yeah.
And he joined a fucking disco band so he could make it, right?
And look what happens.
Look what happened. So the lesson here, my friend, there is a lesson. It's fuck disco.
Don't join a disco band.
fuck disco. Right? I mean, that's one for the ages. I loved it. I can't wait. The next one is going to be comfort food too, because it's a summer camp slasher. In the postmodern take or the postmodern take on slashers, I mean, I got to tell you, it's like I find it very hard to watch a single Friday the 13th that isn't made by our good friend Adam Marcus. Mm-hmm. But I fucking loved American Horror Story 1984 so much. If it was a little teddy bear, I'd snuggle with it every night.
So I didn't watch. I watched the first 3 seasons of that. And I actually stayed at the Hotel Cecil.
I know.
Because of that. So
when we watched the documentary a few months ago, I said to Kirsten, I'm like, Mike actually stayed. I heard about this place because of him. He went and stayed there after they found the chick's body.
Yeah. Well, I didn't find the chick's body.
I didn't mean that you found it. Or did you?
It wasn't me.
What do you got?
So I got one last one.
Okay.
And
me too.
Oh my God, this is gonna burn a lot of bridges for me.
Oh man.
Yeah, like every bridge.
Wait. Okay. What do you got?
I have tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to give a shit about this franchise.
Okay. It's not for us.
And I just can't.
It's not for us.
And like the book is gorgeous. The presentation is awesome. There are people, coming in that are excited about it. But all right, let me just kind of go through real quick because the thing is, I connect with characters. Like you watch Star Wars, you connect with Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, whatever. But this is a thing, dude. Like page 1, where are the people? There's no people. Page 2, all right, you got a dragon in a city. Page 3, a castle, a dragon. Like,
Uh-oh, we're losing you. Where are you at? I sound like a Boost Mobile ad.
Stephanie was calling me. But there's like no protagonist that I don't know. Maybe I didn't stick with long enough.
I mean, based on the fact that it's a game, are you the reader, the protagonist? I don't know.
There should be a protagonist in a story.
It's not for us, brother. I know. I agree. It's not for us. That's the way I look at it. When you mentioned you wanted to talk about that, I was like, why the fuck? Nothing against magic. It's just that was well after. It was not something that I ever encountered. I just always, heard people talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's for somebody. I don't think it's for me. I think it's for somebody who's wired differently than you and I are.
Yeah.
When it comes to a storytelling component. I really tried, dude. I tried so hard. You know what?
I say kudos to you for trying. Cheers.
Thank you. Your beer disappears when you do
Cheers for trying. That's because you rolled a 6.2 or whatever.
Well, plus I ordered like 25, 30 copies. So like,
did anybody buy any? I mean, is it popular?
Oh yeah. No, I sold some, and again, it's the same thing I always tell people. Like, I never cut somebody out because I don't like something.
Yeah, agreed.
It's like somebody else might like it,
Yeah,
like,
I totally agree.
it's like music, like, I love, Howlin' Rain. It's not for everybody,
Right.
but it's for me, and
Yeah,
I discovered it. And so I'm doing a pledge drive for 30 Magic fans to not watch this episode and come in and buy this book.
It's fine. All right. I got one last one and then we'll wrap it.
Okay.
But this one, I almost didn't buy this. You pushed this on me and I'm so happy you did.
Okay.
I am not a Jeff Johns fan. I think he's fine. I'm not going to say he's bad anyway. It's just his stuff is totally not for me. I got that. I read the first issue of Blackest Night and I'm like, I get it. It's not for me. Geiger, #1. I got to master how to make. Well, I'll just.
And it's green, so it doesn't show up.
Dude, I loved this book.
Really?
So surprised. I really, really liked it. So it's the quick take is, it starts with some guys in like radiation suits with a Geiger counter, and they're in this basin, and apparently there's been some kind of nuclear catastrophe, and they're worried about seeing the glowing man or whatever. Yeah. Next thing you're going to tell me the glowing man's going to come out here and get us. Whatever. That's a legend. And then they tell the tale of the glowing man, and it goes back, and it's this family, and you see like we don't know when this is, but it's Boulder City, Nevada, and they're in their home, and it looks like it's current day, and that you see a flat screen on the wall, and it's talking about how there's some kind of violence coming, like a war or whatever, an emergency broadcast system. The father gets the mother and the 2 children into, they have a bomb shelter. And then the dog runs away, and he goes to get the dog. And I swear to God, this couple that show up, there's that gun couple that got famous on the right-wing conservative circuit
during the BLM.
Riots. Like the couple that like defended their home with automatic weapons or whatever. I swear to God, this is them. But they basically show up and shoot him in the ankle, and then they're like, "We're taking your bomb shelter," and he tells his wife and kid, "Shut the door, don't let him in." And then the wife shuts the door, the bombs go off, and you go back to the present time, and you get your first encounter with what he's become, which is we don't know. He's like irradiated to some degree. He looks like he did an extensive bout with DDP yoga because he's ripped and he turns into this Skeletor looking motherfucker. But he's got a 2-headed Cerebus type dog with him that he talks to. And I really, really liked it. So I thank you. And I'm in. I don't know, however long it lasts, I'm in.
Well, I'm glad you like it. We sold out within the first 5 minutes of New Comic Day.
Really? Wow.
Oh,
nice.
Dude, look on eBay, see what it goes for.
Okay.
Yeah, you're balling, dude. You're rich. You're a rich man.
Well, unlike Batman Damned, which I very quickly cashed in on, I will not be cashing in on this.
Did you cash in on it?
Oh, Batman Damned sucks.
With the penis?
I waited to get all 3 and I sold them as a set.
Yeah.
You know what? The art was fantastic. The story was, there wasn't one at all. It was like an Instagram post of his rogues gallery.
I actually sold mine for $250 because I included a Batman dildo with it.
Well, at some point you'll have to tell us the origin story for that Batman dildo. But for today, I believe we're out of time. So,
okay.
Mike Wellman, aka Wallman, it's been a pleasure, my friend. We'll do this again next week.
Yes, next Thursday. I think we have a new co-host coming next week.
Great.
If she's not afraid after watching this episode.
Keep it secret. Let's do a big reveal, and maybe we could do a die cut cover with aluminum, folds in the artwork, and it'll be a big thing.
And bat penis, secret bat penis.
Secret bat penis is actually one of the most terrifying phrases I've ever heard you utter.
Well, no, you've heard worse.
I have heard worse, but it's up there. So, okay. Well,
love you,
well,
Shawn.
my friend. I
bye,
love you, man.
America. Bye, Facebook and whoever is watching. We are drinking with comics.
And we're out.
And we're out. Boom.